It's unbelievable. This is a terrorist, Nigel Nelson, and you want her back. You want her back in this country.
I wouldn't say
Why?
I want her back. What I do think is she has a right to be back because she's a British citizen.
Well, she's also a Bangladeshi citizen.
She's not. This is.
She is.
No, she's not.
She has the right to be.
She has the right to be, and Bangladesh doesn't want her because she hasn't got dual citizenship. So what we should be doing is she's a British citizen. That's what she is at the moment. We should be following the lead of America, Germany, another 8 countries. I think Finland's got back 35 of their people. Denmark's got 90.
Yeah, and believe me, taking back ISIS brides
and when it comes down
politically
to the security issue, much better to have her in this country where we can keep an eye on her. Rather than being in a camp where she'll be radicalised.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're keeping well. Now, today we have a man named Nigel Nelson who quite wrongly advocates for SHAMIMA Begum to be brought back to the United Kingdom, when in all essence that would be a huge security breach for all citizens in the United Kingdom. You know, just under a decade ago, SHAMIMA Begum took it upon herself to sympathize with the Islamic State, and then she found routes as to how she would get to the Middle East and help the Islamic State carry out their crimes against humanity and to complete their objectives, which was to spread jihad. She has been unsuccessful at that, and now she's looking for an escape route, and she's looking for that escape route at the expense of the British public's security in all essence. And when conducting interviews that she's done, she's been very unapologetic for her actions and seems to not have a bone in her body that screams remorse. You know, she's very unapologetic and she's just looking for an escape route. You know, woke culture has gone so crazy that she could just make this outrageous demand, which says, I can go and help the Islamic State carry out their objectives. If it fails, then I could just come back to the United Kingdom because of a woke culture that is so corrupt and makes no sense. Or if they win the Islamic State, then I can just stay here. So I get the best of both worlds in my crazy mind. And now, as of a few years, ISIS has been dismantled and she's looking for a way to get out and to resume the life she had before she made the move to leave towards the Middle East and help them carry out their sick campaign. And it's just a shame that we have someone like this panel member, Nigel Nelson, who is making a case for her to return, saying she's a British citizen and that she holds no Bangladeshi, which is her country of origin, passport, and that she should come back here so that the MI5 can have a look at her and study her and keep an eye on her in all essence. So that's absolutely wrong. I'm sure most people don't want her here. She'll still be part of operations, Islamic operations that seek to destroy the West and destroy, you know, non-believers, you know, who are Christians, who are Jews, who are atheists, who are Hindus, people practicing other religions, and just people that don't view life the way they view it. You know, she'd be part of a covert or an overt mission to just destroy life in the West. And to be fair, no one can trust her. So anyway, guys, I'm going to play the interview for you, and then I'm going to come with my analysis at the end.
I mean, Carol Malone, this is the problem our country's in, isn't it? Because these lefty lawyers would rather do everything possible to get a terrorist back here.
These lawyers are saying that she was groomed before she left here. I'm sorry, people have forgotten. She left here at a time, she was 15 years old. She left here at a time that we were seeing on television in this country beheadings, people being set fire to in cages. We knew ISIS were doing it. We saw them brandishing the knife, and then we saw what they did. So those girls were 15 years old. They knew exactly what they were going to join. And anyone who says that they were groomed, at 15, you're not stupid, you're not a child, you can say that on TV and you know it's wrong, and yet still they went anyway, and they made their own way there. This girl joined a death cult. Not did she join it? You know, she was actually sweeping up the severed heads while she was there. There are rumours that she was recruiting people, that she was involved in all of that. And the trouble, you know, the courts are talking about her being trafficked. This is not about trafficking. This is about a threat to national security, and our security services are saying she is still a threat. The former boss of our security service, a guy called Neil Basso, he said returning women jihadis are a huge threat to this country. Whitehall officials have said exactly the same thing. Everyone is saying these girls are dangerous, and we're supposed to believe her. When she was first brought to the Syrian camp, she did not denounce ISIS for at least a year.
No.
She was saying how...
Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. And it was only when she realised that by denouncing them, she would actually get back here. And there was a journalist, a Sunday Times journalist called Louise Callahan, and I remember her pieces at the time, and she said she spoke to lots of girls who were saying, oh, you know, we were tricked, And Louise Callahan said they were lying through their teeth, that these girls were jihadis and they supported ISIS. And Begum herself, I remember she said something once. She said that she thought beheadings and all that was normal for Islam. She thought that was
she
okay.
wasn't even prepared to say how despicable the Manchester bombings were. I mean, she is unbelievable. This is a terrorist, Nigel Nelson, and you want her back. You want her back in this country.
I wouldn't
Why?
say I want her back. What I do think is she has a right to be back, but she's a British citizen.
Well, she's also a Bangladeshi citizen.
She's not.
She is.
No, she's not.
She has the right to be.
She has the right to be, and Bangladesh doesn't want her because she hasn't got dual citizenship. So what we should be doing is she's a British citizen. That's what she is at the moment. We should be following the lead of America, Germany, another 8 countries. I think Finland's got back 35 of their people. Denmark's got 90.
Yeah, and believe me, taking back ISIS brides
and when it comes down
politically
to the
devastating.
security issue, much better to have her in this country where we can keep an eye on her.
No, because
rather than being in a camp where she'll be radicalised.
Nigel, well, she can do what she likes over in Syria.
MI5 here.
MI5 here are already monitoring between 3,000 and 4,000 extremists. She's going to be another one. If she gets back here, she's going to be unemployable. This government and the British people are going to have to pay for her for the rest of her life.
She may end up on trial.
She wants to come back here and have a normal life. Yeah, when the death cult ISIS didn't work out, so she wants to come back.
But she could well be on trial.
And what sort of example does it set,
Belinda
Belinda Lucy? What sort of example does it set to other young teenagers who might be thinking of joining one of these radical groups if they know, if it goes wrong, we can just do a Begum and get back?
What it says is that to all the British Islamists out there, and there are quite a few, go off and fight for a terrorist organisation that enslaves, murders, rapes, and you'll come back and get off scot-free. Because what really sticks in my throat about this is that there's the Islamist apologists, always on the left, are saying, we need to offer this girl compassion. No. They never talk about the Yazidis, not once. Well, the crimes of ISIS against the Yazidi people are not theirs to forgive. It's not mine to forgive. They're not yours to forgive.
And I agree with that
need to
completely,
stand
Belinda. But what about the victims?
soil.
But what about the victims of the Manchester Arena bombing?
I
mean, there are victims of ISIS right here around the time that she was in the death cult.
No ISIS fighter or anyone involved in ISIS should step on any British soil until they've stood trial in Syria and they've looked those Yazidi victims in the eye and those Yazidis have seen justice. What people on the left want is for those poor Yazidi victims to see no justice at all, because when they come back here, the burden of proof is too high. They do not get justice in this country. They won't be put in prison.
Do you remember in this country when all this was happening, when the ISIS thing was decided, this government made it perfectly clear. They said anyone who leaves this country to go and fight for ISIS will never return.
Not if they're British citizens, but they have a right to return.
No, she doesn't. No. When you go and your aim is to destroy the West and to destroy this country, do not expect to come back into this country and live courtesy of the taxpayers.
No, but she's our responsibility.
She's not, because her citizenship.
The Home Office made a decision to reverse to rescind the citizenship.
Against international law, because it left her stateless.
Well, she's not stateless.
She can go. She can go and apply to Bangladesh.
They won't have her.
Yeah.
Well, then tough.
They're trying every excuse under the sun, like, we're only being harsh on her because she's Muslim. Well, Jack Letts, a.k.a. Jihadi John, a white, Oxford-born British boy, got his citizenship removed when he joined ISIS. It's got nothing to do with her race.
Exactly.
She's a threat to national security.
There are some decisions that you make, and no matter what age you make them, they are so big, they are so catastrophic that you're just going to have to live with them.
Exactly.
She's one of them.
But also, we have to set the right example to other potential young terrorists in this country.
So yeah, guys, there you have it. Shamima Begum should never ever be allowed to see the streets of the United Kingdom, because a decade ago she took it upon herself to travel and help a terrorist organization in ISIS. So yeah, I don't even know why this is up for a debate. You know, most nations around the world understand that and would never allow themselves to be subjected to further harm by the same person who betrayed the country. But in the United Kingdom, we need to have these kind of conversations. For what reason, I'll never know, but she should never ever be allowed here because she is a huge threat, and she's not apologetic at all. You know, she's quite saddened that ISIS lost. So yeah, but anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video.